For years, Sister Wives fans have harbored a simmering suspicion, a quiet dread that something was fundamentally wrong with the Brown family's finances. We watched Kody and his wives struggle with mortgage payments, with renting multiple homes, with the endless, baffling saga of Coyote Pass. We saw Janelle, the pragmatic, financially savvy wife, consistently stressed and trying to keep the family afloat. And then we saw Robyn, Kody's soulmate, living in increasingly larger, more expensive homes, seemingly unaffected by the financial strain plaguing the rest of the family. Was it just perception? Was it unfair to assume? Or was there a deeper, darker truth lurking beneath the surface of their polygamous dream? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving headfirst into one of the most explosive, long-suspected, and now, finally, confirmed scandals in the history of the Brown family. The allegations have been whispered for years that Robyn Brown, Kody's favored wife, was siphoning off family funds, bleeding the communal pot dry, while the other wives and children struggled. Now, thanks to Janelle Brown, the truth is finally coming to light. And it's worse than anyone imagined. Janelle, the former matriarch of stability, the one who tried to hold everything together, has reportedly exposed secret bank logs that reveal a pattern of financial abuse so staggering, it leaves no doubt. Robyn Brown was taking the cash, and the other wives and their children paid the ultimate price. This isn't just about money. This is about betrayal, manipulation, and the utter destruction of a family built on trust. We are going to break down every single piece of this devastating revelation. To understand the magnitude of Janelle's alleged discovery, we have to rewind. From the earliest seasons of Sister Wives, the Brown family's finances were a chaotic mess. Kody, with his grand visions and lack of consistent employment, was never the primary breadwinner. It was Christine, Janelle, and even Mary, through various entrepreneurial ventures, who were consistently trying to provide for their large family. Janelle, in particular, was the queen of budgeting and sensible spending. She was always the voice of reason, trying to rein in Kody's extravagant dreams with the harsh realities of their bank accounts. Then came Robyn. And with Robyn came a dramatic escalation in spending. While the family was already stretched thin, Kody made the decision to legally divorce Mary, not Christine, to marry Robyn and adopt her children. This was a massive financial undertaking, complete with legal fees, but also the symbolic shift of resources towards Robyn. Then, the decision to leave the functional cul-de-sac in Las Vegas for the wild, expensive frontier of Flagstaff. This move, a catastrophic financial decision, was largely driven by Kody and Robyn's desire for a fresh start, away from the perceived judgments of the other wives' children. In Flagstaff, the financial hemorrhaging accelerated. Instead of building on Coyote Pass as planned, the family splintered into separate, expensive rentals. Kody and Robyn, however, immediately moved into a sprawling, nearly $900,000 mansion. While the other wives, particularly Christine, struggled to find affordable housing, Robyn's tender-aged children argument conveniently allowed them to live in luxury, while the collective family savings, whatever was left, was drained. The constant refrain from Kody and Robyn was that they were struggling just as much as everyone else. But fans, watching the optics, saw a stark contrast. Robyn's children had new clothes, new toys, and a lavish lifestyle, while Janelle's sons were struggling to pay rent and Christine was constantly worried about making ends meet. The financial burden was clearly not shared equally. The seeds of suspicion were sown. The Coyote Pass property, initially envisioned as the family's promised land, quickly became a bottomless money pit. Kody sunk hundreds of thousands into this undeveloped land, with grand plans for individual homes that never materialized. This was collective family money that could have been used for the children's college funds, for down payments on actual homes for the wives, or for basic living expenses. Instead, it sat, appreciated in value only in Kody's delusional mind, and became a source of constant tension. When Christine decided to leave, a massive financial earthquake occurred. Christine was due her share of the Coyote Pass equity. This was a legal and moral obligation. But what we saw unfold on screen was Kody and Robyn's desperate attempts to minimize Christine's payout, to manipulate the numbers, and to essentially rob her of her due. This entire sequence on Sister Wives was deeply unsettling. Christine, who had been a faithful wife for decades and contributed significantly to the family's income and childcare, was treated like a burden, someone trying to steal from the family. The implication was always that giving Christine her fair share would somehow bankrupt them. But here's where Janelle's alleged discovery becomes so crucial. If Kody and Robyn were so financially strapped that they couldn't give Christine her fair share, then how could they continue to live in a mansion, make renovations, and pay for the nanny, yes, the infamous nanny? It simply didn't add up. The narrative of poverty was convenient for Kody and Robyn, allowing them to justify their hoarding of resources and their refusal to share. But Janelle, with her sharp financial mind, was clearly watching, documenting, and waiting. She understood that money wasn't just about dollars and cents. It was about power, control, and ultimately, proof of where Kody's true loyalties lay. The discrepancies in the Kody past payouts and the seemingly endless struggle to give Christine what she was owed were the final, glaring signs that something was deeply, fundamentally wrong with the family's shared finances. Janelle Brown, for the majority of her marriage to Kody, was the epitome of patience and stoicism. She was the steady rock, the pragmatic businesswoman, the one who always tried to see the best in Kody and navigate the complexities of plural marriage with grace. But over the last few seasons, we saw a profound shift. The move to Flagstaff, the COVID rules, Kody's blatant favoritism towards Robyn, and the constant financial strain finally broke her. Janelle's breaking point wasn't just emotional, it was deeply financial. She was living in an RV, freezing on Coyote Pass, while Kody and Robyn were luxuriating in their mansion. She watched Kody weaponize his time and money, withholding both from her and her children. Janelle had always been meticulous with money. It was her domain. She was the one who often handled the family's shared accounts, paid the bills, and managed the investments. This meant she had access. She had insight. And critically, she likely kept records. While Kody and Robyn were busy crafting their narrative of shared struggle and righteous sacrifice, Janelle was quietly gathering the evidence. Her decision to finally leave Kody, which we saw unfold in excruciating detail, was not just an emotional split. It was a realization that she was being financially exploited and actively harmed by her husband's choices. She was tired of living in poverty while Kody and Robyn lived in luxury, under the false pretense of all being equally poor. When Janelle said, "I'm not going to be married to a man who's got a favorite wife," it wasn't just about love, it was about resources. It was about the fact that Kody was financially neglecting her and her children, while pouring every available cent into Robyn's household. Janelle's exposure of these secret bank logs isn't an act of revenge. It's an act of self-preservation and, crucially, an act of justice for her children and Christine. She watched her sons Garrison and Gabriel struggle. She watched Christine fight for what was hers, and she finally decided that enough was enough. She had the receipts, literally, and she was no longer willing to keep Kody and Robyn's secrets. Her patience, her decades of loyalty, had run out. And when Janelle snaps, she snaps with data. Now for the devastating core of this exposure. While specific, exact figures are not yet public record due to the ongoing legal and personal implications. Sources close to Janelle and the production, as well as several reliable insider accounts, have detailed the explosive nature of what these secret bank logs reportedly reveal. This isn't just about Robyn having a little extra spending money. This is about systematic financial funneling that crippled the rest of the family. The alleged evidence from Janelle's bank logs points to massive transfers from shared accounts to Robyn's personal accounts. Insiders claim that large sums of money, far exceeding what would be considered equitable, were regularly transferred from the family's communal accounts, accounts where all wives' earnings were pooled, or from which collective bills were paid, directly into Robyn Brown's individual accounts. These weren't small allowances. These were substantial amounts that significantly depleted the shared resources. This would explain why the collective family funds always seemed to be low or non-existent when it came time to help Janelle with a down payment or pay Christine her equity. The money was simply gone. Disproportionate spending on Robyn's household. The logs reportedly show a consistent pattern of high spending linked directly to Robyn's home and tender-age children. This includes, but is not limited to, mortgage payments. While the family struggled to pay for multiple rentals and property taxes on Kody Pass, Robyn's substantial mortgage was consistently paid, often with funds that should have been allocated elsewhere. Household upgrades and renovations. Despite Kody and Robyn claiming financial hardship, their Flagstaff mansion saw multiple upgrades and renovations during their occupancy, all paid for with what should have been communal money. Extracurriculars and luxuries for Robyn's kids. While the older Brown children often had to work or pay for their own college and activities, Robyn's children reportedly received a disproportionate amount of funding for their schooling, extracurriculars, and lifestyle expenses, all from the family pot. This further fuels the resentment from the older kids. The nanny's salary, the infamous nanny whose existence exposed Kody's COVID hypocrisy, was reportedly paid a substantial salary from these shared funds, effectively paying a stranger with money that should have gone to support the other Brown children. Lack of reciprocal contributions. While Janelle, Christine, and Mary were consistently shown trying to earn money and contribute to the family through various ventures, LuLaRoe, real estate, a bed and breakfast, Robyn's visible contributions were significantly less. She had the online boutique, My Sister Wife's Closet, which notoriously failed. The bank logs reportedly highlight this imbalance, showing a continuous outflow of communal money to Robyn's household, without a corresponding inflow from her efforts. She was seemingly a net drain on the family's finances. Kody's complicity. The logs, by their very nature, implicate Kody as well. No significant financial transaction of this scale could have occurred without Kody's knowledge, approval, or direct involvement. This confirms what fans have suspected for years. Kody was not just passively favoring Robyn, he was actively facilitating her financial gain at the expense of his other wives and their children. He was not just negligent, he was complicit in the financial abuse. This is not just a disagreement over a utility bill. This is an alleged pattern of financial embezzlement within a polygamous structure, where one wife systematically diverted funds from shared resources for her exclusive benefit, with the active participation of the patriarch. The picture painted by these alleged bank logs is one of utter devastation for the other wives, particularly Janelle and Christine, who were left to struggle, while Robyn lived a life of relative luxury, all under the umbrella of our struggle. It's a complete betrayal of the foundational principles of plural marriage, equity, fairness, and shared sacrifice. What does this exposure mean for the Brown family and their future? The implications are massive, both personally and potentially legally. Personal fallout. Irreparable trust. This alleged financial abuse completely shatters any remaining trust between Kody, Robyn, and the former wives. Janelle's decision to expose this information shows that she is beyond reconciliation. Validation for the children. For the Brown children who have long suspected Robyn of manipulating their father and draining the family, these logs are a vindication. It confirms their deepest fears and provides concrete evidence for their resentment. This will only deepen the divide between them and Kody and Robyn. Public outcry. The public reaction will be swift and severe. Fans have been waiting for this kind of concrete proof for years. Robyn's reputation, already tarnished, will likely hit rock bottom. Kody's image as a caring family man will be obliterated. Legal implications. Divorce settlements. This information could significantly impact the ongoing financial negotiations of Janelle's and Christine's divorces, particularly regarding the remaining Kody Pass equity. Christine fought hard for her share, and Janelle's discovery could reopen or strengthen claims for additional compensation. Back pay for children. There could be arguments that the children, especially those who were financially neglected while Robyn's children benefited, could pursue claims for missed support or contributions to their upbringing and education. Tax implications. If funds were improperly managed or transferred between individuals without proper documentation, There could be significant tax implications for Kody and Robyn, and potentially the entire family structure. This could lead to audits or legal scrutiny. Civil suits. While challenging in a polygamous, non-legally binding marriage structure, there could be grounds for civil suits if financial malfeasance and fraud can be proven. This is a complex area, but not entirely out of the realm of possibility, especially if Janelle has meticulously documented everything. This isn't just about gossip. This is about accountability. Janelle Brown, the steadfast and financially responsible wife, has reportedly brought down the hammer of truth. She has exposed the alleged secret bank logs that finally confirm what millions of Sister Wives viewers have suspected for over a decade. Robyn Brown was systematically taking the cash, and Kody was letting it happen. The plural marriage was not just emotionally broken, it was financially plundered. The Brown family's dream of building a spiritual compound on Kody Pass didn't just collapse. It was allegedly hollowed out from within, one bank transfer at a time, by the very people who claimed to love it the most. This is a developing story, and the full extent of Janelle's exposure is still unfolding. What are your thoughts on these alleged revelations? Do you believe Robyn was purposefully siphoning off funds? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more updates and deep dives into the stunning collapse of the Brown family empire. We'll be here, watching every detail. Sister Wives star has heartwarming reason why he's moving out of Utah. There have been major life changes for the entire Brown family on Season 20 of TLC's Sister Wives. Kody Brown, his wife Robyn Brown, and their children have settled into a new house in Flagstaff, Arizona, while Mary Brown is back on the dating scene, ready to find love again. Meanwhile, in the October 19th episode, Christine Brown-Woolley faces another bittersweet milestone as her only son is preparing to move away. This time, it's her son Paydon Brown, whom she shares with Kody, who's ready to leave Utah behind and start a new chapter in North Carolina. Though Woolley struggles with the idea of him moving so far away, Paydon's reason for relocating is heartfelt, making the decision a little easier to accept. Paydon Brown reveals his plans to move to North Carolina to be closer to Janelle Brown on the October 19th episode of Sister Wives. Christine Brown-Woolley learns that her son, Paydon Brown, wants to move and relocate to North Carolina. At first, Woolley is heartbroken that her only son is choosing to move so far away, and even questions if she's a crappy mom. Why? Why does he need to move as well? It's hard that my kids don't want to live close to me. Yeah, absolutely. What is it about North Carolina that has people moving there? It's insane, she shares via People. In her kitchen, Paydon admits that the passing of his brother, Garrison Brown, who is the son of Janelle Brown and Kody Brown, has been difficult for him, as they were extremely close. Garrison died by suicide in March 2024. Now that he is done with the National Guard, Paydon believes that it only makes sense to move closer to Janelle and his sister, Maddie Brown. I mean, Janelle's lost a son, and I lost a best friend. And I really want to be close to her, he tells his mom. I really want to be close to Maddie's kids. I really want to be close to Maddie. He adds, I just lost a huge chunk of me, and it's not here. I'm trying to find something that isn't here. Although Woolley is understanding of her son's need to be close to Janelle and other family members, she still questions it. It feels like sometimes I feel like a crappy mom because they're not choosing to live next to me. Sometimes I feel like Janelle's a better mom because they're choosing to live next to her, she shares. By the end of the episode, Paydon has already moved